I'm having such a warm sweat now.
Hello pretty boys and girls, this week I'm taking you on a road trip through a tropical island. Will I survive my poor decisions and manage to take some bangers along the way? Stick around to find out. Hello amazing people of the internet and welcome back to your favorite family-friendly film photography channel, where we only talk about fat cats, don't we? A few months ago, I purchased a beautiful, mint condition Nikon F3. A dream of mine for so long, and I was really excited about this camera. However, something happened. By the time I got it in my hands and I started using it, it wasn't as satisfying as I thought it would be. This camera stayed on my shelf for so long, begging me to put it to use. So I decided to run a test to use it as my main camera in a road trip that I had planned in Ishigaki in Okinawa, a beautiful tropical island. I would use the Nikon as my main camera shooting color and my Leica, that is normally my main camera, as my backup, always loaded with black and white. So sit down, get comfortable and get ready for 20 minutes of pure nonsense. When I landed in Okinawa, the weather was miserable. Strong, cold wind followed by sporadic rainfall.
I just landed in Okinawa, and actually I'm in the southernmost part of Okinawa, in the island of Ishigaki. First impression, this place looks like, I don't know, Thailand or Vietnam, but you're in Japan. So I don't know what to think about it.
I drove to the city center where I had booked the hotel for the weekend. After unpacking, I immediately took my camera with me and went out to explore. I was surprised by the architecture and the conditions of the buildings. Okinawa has a unique history. Although it's now part of Japan, it was officially returned to the Japanese control in 1972 after decades of US military administration.
This place is so old. It doesn't feel like Japan at all. So now I'm just walking around this whatever village that is semi-abandoned. I mean, look at this building, man. What the hell is that?
From a photographic standpoint, it was fascinating. The photos I took during this trip, I think, align well with the themes of remoteness and solitude that I've been exploring in my ongoing photo projects.
Fast forward is about 8 p.m. Then taking it easy. I'm not vlogging much. I have now the equivalent of Cine still loaded on my camera.
For this trip, I shot almost exclusively Myrex 800T, the Japanese respooled version of Kodak Vision 3. And I have to admit, at night the place gave off a real 70s vibe. I felt like I'd been teleported to the past. I started to wonder if that was the same feeling the photographer Greg Girard had when he visited Okinawa in the 70s. The vintage taxis and the old advertisements were such a vibe. I wandered in the quiet streets, searching for the rare sources of light. After a couple of hours, I called it a day. I was surprisingly tired and needed proper rest for the next day. I had a glorious breakfast at a cafe near the hotel, then loaded my backup camera, my beloved Leica MP. The film stock, of course, was Kentmere 400, religiously pushed one stop for extra contrast.
Good morning. So narrow. How is people driving so fast here? It's insane. I hate to drive in Okinawa. It's horrible. Anyway, no negativity here. This is a positive film, photography, family friendly.
I drove towards the center of the island, stopping whenever I saw something worth shooting.
Yeah, there's a storm going on. And there's a farm here. Super nice farm. And over there, Mr. Goat. Hello, Mr. Goat. It's time to go communist mode. This is a red filter that I will stick to the 50mm. Everything looks so dramatic since there's this wind and these clouds. You know, there's sort of a storm coming.
At one point I found a sign to a dam. There was no one around. It looked abandoned. I was completely alone, listening to the wind howl.
Now I need my safe place. Take me from the race I'm in. Oh, we thought the fast pace is what else we to stay in tune. Can't choose to right back, but I did forget that.
Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, sorry. Yeah, someone joined me for this adventure. And of course, it was the one, the only
Julian and Tommy back again. Actually, we're very close to Taiwan. We should go.
I wonder how far Taiwan is from here.
It's not that far, man.
Because
I
if you
think
open up Bumble, if you put like the map.
I was glad that Julian came along. Sometimes it's nice to have a friend around to make stupid jokes and talk non-stop about MrLeica.com.
We're on this hill with snakes and a beautiful view of the coastlines.
Look at the colors of the...
We hit the road again and followed the coastline north. About 30 minutes later, we stumbled across a sign for a cave and ventured inside. We followed the path to the exit, where we found a beach. The weather was still horrible, but I think the photos turned out well.
Let's see.
Well, Julian, as they say, when in Rome,
When in Rome.
holy shit. Amazing moment.
Julian and I are best bros, forged in true male, alpha male, I would say, friendship. Anyway, the owner of the place saw us in this beautiful romantic situation and decided to take a photo of us. And yeah, it's a beautiful photo. I really like it. I wish I had such a good photo with grainy days, but it will happen. One day he will see these videos. So after having the best photo of the trip taken, we jumped back in the car and drove to the very north tip of the peninsula, to the Hirakubozaki lighthouse. When we got there, the wind was really strong, but that added to the mood.
Wow, this is beautiful, man.
Wow.
I am genuinely surprised by how well the Nikon performed, even though I didn't enjoy using it all that much. I didn't find myself confident with this camera for various reasons. Of course, I never use it. It was not natural for me to shoot it, and it's my bad. However, you know, I wanted to feel cool for once. You see all these YouTubers changing cameras every other week and they seem fine with them, so why can't I do it, right? We went back to the city and continued our exploration.
This trip, I want to force myself to use the f3 because it looks so amazing.
And how do you feel so far?
I feel like I like more the Leica. I'm sorry. Like, I should have only brought the Leica with me. I don't know. It's an amazing camera, the f3. It feels amazing. The zoom lens is super convenient, but it's just a backup camera. Like, it can't be my main camera, you know?
Yeah, it's understandable. The Leica is your baby.
The Leica is my baby.
When I first heard you'd shoot one photo from the f3, I thought that camera sounds terrible. And you compare it to a Leica, you know, it's a very soft click, and the f3 is a hard...
I think I understand what you say, but I think it doesn't sound terrible. It's that once you're used to have the very soft click of the Leica, it's hard to go back.
We walked to the pier, curious to see what it had to offer. It felt like everyone had vanished. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I love visiting places off-season. Clearly this town thrives in the summer, but being here in early spring made me taste the melancholic side of these summer destinations. The other face of the medal that not many people get to see.
The idea is that we will take a boat and visit the islands. There's many beautiful islands around here, and we really want to explore. So let's see. Weather is still not sunny, fuck it. Walking around the port, waiting for the boat to leave. We're gonna sail in about 30 minutes. The weather, not good yet. Not good. And so since, you know, it's still cloudy, I felt it was still a good opportunity to keep shooting with, you know, the Leica. Or I'm just trying to find an excuse to shoot with the Leica because I just missed it. the Nikon, as much as I like it, I'm sorry. Like, I just have more fun with the Leica, and that's it. And this is pure enjoyment, you know. It's not rational. I just like this tool more.
We were headed to one of the nearby islands. It was a 30-minute bumpy boat ride. After nearly throwing up our breakfasts, we arrived.
We are in this jungle, in this remote island. Mr. Cow? Mr. Cow. So Mr. Cow, so cute.
After wasting 2 rolls on 3 sleeping cows, we continued exploring and made our way to the main village. The houses were particularly interesting. These red tile roofs are a signature in Taketomi Island. Traditionally, these tiles were used not only for their practicality, but also for their symbolism, warding off evil spirits.
What is this? What do you mean? Got a water buffalo coming.
Fuck!
As we explored and shot non-stop photos at the local architecture, we saw it, a majestic water buffalo with incredible horns. I had never seen one before, and of course my new mission became clear: take an incredible photo of this creature. We kept walking through the island, sporadic red roof houses surrounded by tall tropical trees. The Leica here did a fantastic job. We reached the other side of the island and found a quiet pier. We sat down to enjoy our sandwiches and a moment of peace. Unfortunately, the weather was still not on our side, but the island wasn't too crowded, so we could enjoy it in peace. We took the ferry back before dark and called it a day. We still had a few more things to see in Ishigaki before we could say we had explored it all. Like 2 idiots, we opened Google Maps and decided to hike a random mountain in the jungle. We reached the trailhead of Mount Omoto, the highest peak on the island, and ventured into the forest. No one else was around us. We figured the trail would be quick, but we were wrong. It turned out to be tougher than we expected. Just as we were about to give up and go back, the jungle opened up to reveal the peak. The clouds cleared, showing off a brilliant blue sky. Even in the jungle, the place gave off a 70s vibe, from the old beaten-up structures to the wild vegetation.
Snickers, sponsor us. Best food.
Right code MrLeica.com for 10% off your purchase with sneakers.
In the afternoon, temperature soared. It was time to enjoy the beach. We found a quiet one at the end of an unpaved road. The sand was white and the water was crystal clear.
Baby Jesus!
Holy baby Jesus.
Holy baby Jesus!
We explored the beach, took some more photos, and then drove to the final stop of the day, Oganzaki Lighthouse, on the western tip of the island.
We're still exploring the coastlines, beautiful coastlines.
Incredible.
Incredible. of Ishigaki, and we arrived now at
Have
the...
you cookies?
Huh?
I'm out of film.
You're out of film?
Yeah.
All the film?
Portrait, done.
Portrait, you're done? How many rolls of portrait you shot?
4.
Fuck, you're rich.
The rugged coastline with massive rocks formations was stunning.
You have a beautiful view on the entire coastline behind me, and in front of me, this rock formation. It has an incredible shape. Looks like a wave.
We stayed there for half an hour, then returned to the city, had dinner, and ended another day. The next morning we knew it was our last day. We had seen 90% of the island, so we set out to visit the final few spots. And don't ask me how we ended up in Ishigaki Yaima village, a mix of museum and tourist trap. We followed signs to a squirrel monkey park. Yeah, you heard that well. After a few failed photo attempts, we left and headed to Banna Park. Nothing fancy, just enjoying the final hours of our trip. This trip left me a bit unsatisfied. I always hope for an incredible adventure and amazing photos, but that's not always how it goes. Still, it was a good chance to relax and visit a new place with a friend.
So now I know what was the problem with the Nikon, and it was me. You know, I love gear. You love gear. We're all on the same boat. Okay. It's beautiful to buy a new toy because it's interesting, makes you want to go out and shoot more. It's a great feeling. However, when you keep buying new cameras, they all feel brand new to you, and you don't get used to them. You don't get used to their functions. You're using them as a toy and not as a tool. And that is what happened with the Nikon. I got it because of greed, because it looks amazing. However, I didn't need a new camera because my main camera, the camera that I love using every day, is the Leica MP. And honestly, I got this camera also because I thought that it would make sense for this YouTube channel. I could make a few videos with the Nikon, a few videos with the Leica. You know, it's the YouTube game. You have to talk about gear because then no one will see these videos. However, I don't see myself doing that as much as I thought I would. I will keep shooting with the Leica, and this camera, it's going to stay with me, but as a backup, or yeah, just for fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very honest non-review of a Nikon and this short road trip. Thank you very much for being here until now, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao!